how are you doing? Today I want to walk you guys through the ring muscle up. When I first started Cali, it was one of those moves that I was like, God, it's going to take me forever to get. Like, is it even possible? I'm so far from it. I've got such a long way to go. But actually, when I broke down the movement, what are the progressions to get there, it made a lot more sense. It still took a bit of time. It wasn't an overnight thing, but the journey was super fun, and I think knowing exactly how to get there really helped. So here are my 3 top tips, top progressions, top drills that you guys can also try in classes or an open gym that can hopefully help you get your first ring muscle up. Let's go. Top tip number 1, get your false grip. What even is false grip? Well, if I try to do a muscle up on the rings with a standard normal grip on the rings, like this, I'm gonna really struggle to get through, okay? Reason being is because my shoulders just cannot open up in that range, but we're in this kind of weird false grip position. Now suddenly, I can do my pull-up, I can then come through and find that bottom of the dip position, and you the muscle up, okay? So false grip is really, really important, and it's really the first step of doing anything in your muscle up journey. Because if you can't do false grip, then why are we trying to do muscle ups? Yeah, okay? So how do we do false grip in the first place? Well, watch this. Grab the ring, get your hand, come through, fingers around the ring, thumb over the fingers, and then you're gonna pull the ring down so your knuckles face towards the floor, okay, or as much as you can. The ring is gonna sit on this part of your wrist, okay, as opposed to in like a normal grip like this, it's gonna really sit here, okay? Same on the other side. Same thing, pull the ring down, knuckles facing towards the floor, sitting on the wrists. Then that is your false grip there. So either up the top, wherever, it doesn't really matter. You're holding the rings in this position. From here, once we can take that off, we can work on the next progressions. Top tip number 2, getting nice and high in your pulls, so then you can get through to the bottom of the dip in your muscle up. Okay, so what do we mean by that? Now we've got our false grip. Whenever you work in pull-ups, you can definitely start to add in some false grip pull-ups. So i.e. essentially, rather than doing your normal grip pull-ups, you're working on those false grip pull-ups. Just switching the grip up, just to make sure that's getting nice and strong for your muscle ups, because you need it. Now, one of the main, errors I see in people trying muscle ups is they don't pull high enough to then get through to the bottom of the dip in your muscle up in the first place. So by that I mean they're pulling, and they're trying to get through here, but there's just nothing happening here because you're just not pulling high enough. So top tip number 2 is making sure you work on your pulls to get high enough in the first place. So by that I mean you're pulling nice and high, so here all the way to my chest, because then I can just pop through. So rather than pulling here, you need to be pulling all the way to almost where my Cali sign is on my top, sports bra, my chest, wherever kind of is your cue, you need to be pulling high enough to then essentially be able to pop through, okay? Last and final tip, making sure we're actually getting some speed and explosiveness in our muscle ups when we first try them, okay? So what do I mean by that? Well, our first couple muscle ups, just like our first few pull-ups, push-ups, dips, etc., probably not the prettiest reps, and it's going to be exactly the same as your muscle up. It's not going to be this perfectly slow and controlled rep for your first ever muscle up. It's just going to be just to get it done, essentially. Then we can start to think about form a bit more, okay? So my top tip for this one is thinking about, if you've got long hair like me, then the hair is really helpful. If not, think of wearing a hoodie. So what I want you to do is come down, you're either doing your full muscle ups with feet off the floor, or you're keeping your feet on the floor, it doesn't really matter. But you're coming through, and rather than thinking about being slow and controlled coming through to the dip, you need to think about flicking the hair, putting the hood on. So coming through, flicking the hair, and then getting that explosive power to come through and drive through to get your shoulders in front of the rings in the bottom of the dip position. So rather than thinking about, I've got to slow, control it down, I want to see the power of you almost jumping through and getting your hair moving, your hood moving, just everything kind of going everywhere. That's what your first few reps are going to look like, and it's absolutely fine. Take those off, then you can start to think about slow control, making it look prettier, okay? Hope that helps, guys.